My name is Kelton Cheshire. I'm a senior computer engineering major here at Texas A&M University, but I'm also a proud member of the Fightin Texas Aggie Band. Today, I'm going to walk you through a day in the life of a Fightin Texas Aggie bandsman, what it is we do, what makes us so special, and give you a brief glimpse into our daily lives. I hope you're ready, because we're jumping straight in. So here we are bright and early on a Friday morning, reflector belts on, cleaning up our rooms, and ultimately getting ready for a core run. So before you do any kind of physical exercise, it's always a good idea to stretch out beforehand, which is what you see going on here. Normally we call cadence whenever we're stretching out, meaning somebody leads the stretch and calls out the numbers. But in this particular instance, we're all stretching out individually and just, making sure that we're ready before we start on the run.
Good morning, America.
Here you'll see B battery as well as the other band outfits on the BQ quadrangle between dorms 10 and 12, which are the band dorms on the quad. We're doing what we call static stretches, which are elongated stretches meant to cool you down after a workout and try to reduce lactic acid. We usually do this after a core run or anytime we do any kind of physical activity, so they're a really good way to cool down and stretch out. The time is 7 a.m., meaning it's time for band practice. Usually we start inside first, getting a couple of reps of music before coming outside and forming up what we call block band. Depending on what maneuvers are in the drill for the week, we'll start on sectionals and work on individual assignments, such as these called to the rears. Something most people may not consider is that the Aggie Band never does the same drill twice. A new drill board is usually sent out at around 7 p.m. every Sunday evening. Bugle rank, which are the people that lead the band, come out and practice at that time, and depending on the difficulty, so does the front drum rank, so that they're prepared come Monday morning when the rest of the band joins. Monday through Wednesday are usually spent learning the drill, Thursday and Friday are spent fixing any major mistakes that need correcting, and Saturday is usually spent going through an extra rep so that come time on Kyle Field, the band is ready. We also write all of our drills on note cards, so that it's easy, pocketable, and we have an easy way to look at the drill going forward. After several days of rehearsal, once we've become more comfortable with the drill, we put all the pieces together. Run up, the flourish, and a complete run-through of the drill. Our directors emphasize the idea of 8 minutes of perfection, both on Kyle Field and on Dunlap Drill Field. For 8 minutes, the only thing on our minds is the drill. Alignment, assignments, and music all come together into what you see when we perform on Kyle Field. After drill rehearsal ends, we have what's called the academic day. From 8:30 to 5 p.m. we spend time going to class, working on homework, or doing other things that students do at A&M. I'll give a little bit of a tour of what our rooms look like so you know what the living conditions are here in the core before heading off and getting ready for my classes today. And here we are at home sweet home. This is what an upperclassman cadet room looks like, although me and my roommate have a larger one since we live on the end of the hall. You can see my bed with the shelves, my desk's over there on the right. Here's me and my roommate seeing boots, which we can leave out. And then over here on the left is the sink area. There's a microwave, we have a shelf for stuff. Although the rooms may not look like it, there's actually plenty of space to store things. With all the cabinets and shelves, there's actually a ton of stuff in here. You just can't really see it. It can get a little cramped if there are a lot of people at once, but it's still pretty homey feeling, especially since as seniors we get to decorate it. You can see the rug that we have on the floor, and sometimes other seniors or other juniors even like to decorate and put full rugs on their floor, like completely covering the floor. My roommate and I didn't do that, but that's an option. And yeah, this is just all culminates to a very homey feeling space. So here is kind of what the inside of our closet looks like. The top shelf is where I like to keep my uniform items, and those hooks have my ties, my hats up there too. And then the bottom shelf is where I keep my regular clothes, which we in the core call non-regs. Separated and keeps things nice. There's a shoe caddy right there that my and my roommate have just to keep things nice and organized. But yeah, here's our room. The primary way for cadets to get to know each other is what we call the whip out. Each class does it a little differently. Here, you'll see a fish or freshman whipping out.
Howdy, Fish and Fries. My name's sir.
It's Cheshire.
Howdy, Mr. Cheshire, sir. Where are you from, Mr. Cheshire, sir?
I'm Angel's Texas Barbecue.
I'm from go to Texas, Mr. Cheshire, sir. What course are you taking, Mr. Cheshire, sir?
Computer engineering, let's go and check. What about yourself?
Being Aggie leadership development, Mr. Cheshire, sir. It's very nice to meet you, Mr. Cheshire, sir.
Likewise.
Howdy, Mr. Cheshire, sir.
Howdy.
Alright, next up, another training time. On Monday and Friday afternoons, we have an afternoon training time that runs from 4:30 p.m. to around 5:45 p.m., depending on what we do that day. Today, we're going to the O course. It's an obstacle course that the Corps uses pretty regularly, and it's honestly pretty fun to use. It's a great workout too, so we try to go frequently when we can. Let's dive in and take a look at what we do with the O course. So as you can see, the O course is pretty intense. These three are members of the Aggie Band staffs, 2 from Infantry Band on the left in the middle, and 1 from Combined Band on the right. They're racing to see who can complete the O course the fastest, which is a really fun and challenging exercise to do. There's a ton of obstacles, making completing each section no small feat. Nonetheless, it's incredibly exhilarating to do the O course. So one last event before we close, and it's one of the most fun, Midnight Yell. Marching into Kyle Field with the band is quite the experience, as I'm sure you'll find. Being front row and center on the field, and being part of such a wonderful tradition is also pretty cool. So let's take a look at Midnight Yell, but from the band's perspective. So here we are at one of the more fun and recognizable A&M traditions, Midnight Yell. Although I'm sure anyone who has attended one would know, the Aggie Band dresses up at Midnight Yell. We wear all kinds of stuff. You can see the freshman in front of me wearing some Hawaiian gear. It makes a pretty fun evening even better, honestly. And just to be part of such a cool tradition makes it that much more fun. It's one of the things I look forward to most on my Fridays. And just like that, our Friday comes to a close. It might have seemed like a busy day, but days like this are a pretty regular occurrence in the Aggie Band. It was fun getting to share many of these experiences that most people don't really get to see, and I hope you learned something from all this and got to learn more about what we do here in the Fightin, Texas Aggie Band. And now I say thank you for joining me and stepping into a day in the life of a Fightin, Texas Aggie Band. Thank you.